Okay, sorry for that interruption. Let's continue with our today's lesson. So like I said earlier on, I'm going to start with orders of matrices. So under this topic, let's start with order of matrices. So orders of matrices are very important because order of matrices are very important because they help us to determine which matrices can be added and which matrices cannot be added. Okay, so let's talk about order of matrices. Okay, so how do we determine the order of matrices? Okay, so let's take, for instance, I have got this matrix. Okay, I have got 2 1. Sorry, let me use the different color here. Okay, let's say I've got 2 and 9, a matrix that has those two elements. So we are talking about order of matrices. So what is the order of these matrix, sorry, what is the order of this matrix? So the order of this matrix is okay, 2 and 9. So what is the order of matrix? So when you want to write the order of matrix, you start by counting the number of rows, then by number of columns. Okay, so in this case, we want to determine the number of rows. So the rows are those that goes horizontally, and columns are those that go vertically. So in this matrix, this line forms a row. So how many, when we look at the numbers, how many rows do we have? We have 1 because there is only one line of numbers there. So we say it's 1. Then columns, when we talk about columns, we are talking about numbers that go vertically down like this. So now we can see that even if there are only 2 numbers, they also form 2 lines of columns. So we can say 1 by, we can say 1 by 2. That is the order of this matrix. Okay. Okay, if we fully understand that, then let's try to look at the second example. Let's say we have got this example. Okay, we have 3, 2, 7, 8, 1, 9. Then this is the matrix. Now, like I said on, what we do when you're writing the order of matrix, we start by counting the number of rows. So let's check. So we are going to write R by C, which is R that is rows and C that is columns. Okay, then we say how many rows does this matrix has, or the element of this matrix has. So we have this row, and this row. That means there are 3. Remember I said rows are those lines of numbers that go horizontally. Okay, so there are 3. So we are going to write 3 here, excuse me. And then how many numbers of columns? I said columns are those numbers that goes vertically like this. Okay, so those are the 2 lines of numbers that are in that matrix. That means there are 2 columns. So that means we say by 2 columns. Okay, so basically that's how you write the number of columns. Then this, we can call this one as question number 1. Question number 2, where I want you to write the order of matrix down. So there is 3, 6, 7, 4, 3, 1, 2, 8. And this is the other matrix. What is the order of this matrix? So I want you to write your answers in the comment section about orders of matrices. So what is the order of matrix 1 and matrix 2? Okay. All right, so I'm not going to give you the answers for this one. This is a simple exercise as we go on so that I can also be seeing your progress. So if you make a mistake in the comment section, I'll try to correct it. So if you find it correct, I'll also shout out your name to mention that you have done well. Okay, remember we are revising for the July exams as well as November exams. This is grade 9 work, so those grade 9s who are writing internal and external, come on board and let's revise together. Okay, so tell me the right time that you feel we can be revising. For me, I have opted for 21 hours because that's when the network is a bit stable. Otherwise, 20 hours I've been trying and the network is always giving me a challenge. So if you think 20 or 19 hours will be okay, then it's fine. The only challenges we are going to be facing is network. Okay, so now we have talked about um, we have talked about um, orders of matrix. Now let's go to the second subtopic of today's lesson. Let's talk about corresponding sides. Also the corresponding elements. Corresponding elements. So let's talk about corresponding elements. Corresponding elements in matrices. Which elements are corresponding in two matrices? Okay, so let's start. What are corresponding elements? Let's define what corresponding elements are. What are corresponding elements? Which elements can you say are corresponding? So let me give you a brief definition of what corresponding elements in matrices are. So just like we usually talk about corresponding in angles, in angles, that's the same way. That's the same way. Corresponding means the same. So we can say corresponding elements in matrices are elements that occupy similar positions in different matrices. Okay, that is the easiest definition I can give you. So I'm saying corresponding elements in matrices are elements, elements that occupy similar positions in different matrices. Okay, so what does this mean? Okay, let's look at these two matrices. Okay, I've got 2, 4, 9, 7. Okay, and then this is matrix B. Let me call this one as matrix B, and I've got matrix D, which have elements which are 1, 6, 8, 11. Okay, so when you talk about corresponding element, we can say what element corresponds with the element 2 in B? Okay, so according to the definition I gave you earlier, we said corresponding elements, these are elements that occupy similar positions in different uh, matrices. You can see that this is 2. The element that is occupying a similar position as this one is this one. Okay, that is the matrix that is occupying the similar position to that one. So 2 is corresponding with 1. 2 is corresponding with 1, or 2 is corresponding to 1. Then when we look at 4, when we look at 4, 4 is corresponding with 8. 4 is in similar position with 8, even though they are in two different matrices. Okay, so basically that's what that definition is telling us. It's telling us that corresponding elements, these are elements that are occupying similar positions, but they are in different matrices. Okay, so my next question is which element is corresponding with the 9? The element that is corresponding with 9 is what? So we can see that 9 is corresponding with the 6. So these are two elements that are corresponding to each other. Okay, 9 is corresponding with the element 6. So we can also tell that we can also tell that 7 corresponds with 11. Okay, they are corresponding. Okay, that way, that's how we identify corresponding elements. They are occupying the same positions. Okay, I didn't want to bother you with a lot of questions like positions. Which position is this? We start writing the position codes. No, I didn't want that. So that's why I have just gone to corresponding sides. And the reason we are talking about corresponding sides is because when we are adding, we add according to, we add corresponding sides. When subtracting, we subtract corresponding elements, not sides. Sorry, I'm sorry. We add corresponding elements and we subtract corresponding elements. So when you're subtracting matrices, we focus on corresponding elements. Those are the elements we in fact find the difference of corresponding elements if we are subtracting, and we also find the sum of corresponding elements when we are adding. Okay, so have you understood about corresponding elements? Let me see if you have fully understood. Let me give you a question. Okay, let's look at this question. We have 3, 9, okay, and then we have, that is matrix B, okay, and this is matrix C. We have 1, 8. Okay, so which elements are corresponding? Let me see your answers in the comment section. Let me see which elements are corresponding. So you can say, for instance, you can say 3 is, in the comment section, you can say 3 is corresponding with, okay, I don't know if it's with or 2. Okay, with, you put the answer there. Then you also say 9 is corresponding with, okay, which number is corresponding with 9 in C? Okay, you can write these statements in the comment section. Let me the answers in the comment section so that I be certain that you have understood what I have shared with you. Okay, now we have talked about order of matrices, then we have talked about corresponding elements. Now we go to addition of matrices. So like I said earlier on, the reason we have talked about corresponding elements is we want to learn or to be able to identify corresponding elements so that when we start adding, it will be easier for us. Okay, so with that, I hope you have given me the answers in the comment section. We can go ahead and talk about addition of matrices. Okay, so let's talk about addition of matrices. Okay, addition of matrices. Addition of matrices. Okay, so the other thing I want to share with you is that we are offering online division in mathematics and science. So if you really need help in mathematics, and regardless of how short time is for you to write exams, we invite you to join us. So if you want to join our online division um, tuitions, or if you want to join our tuitions, online tuitions which we are offering, you can contact us on 095 10 27 27 13. You can either call us directly, or you can also WhatsApp us. So you can use this same number for WhatsApp contacts, or you just call us or SMS us. But basically, we encourage you to call us because looking at the nature of our services, majority of the learners, they usually um, contact us, and then when they contact us, when we call them back, many of them, they don't tell us exactly like concrete things. So in short, I'm saying we don't call back. We don't call back. So if you are interested in our services, make an effort, contact us via WhatsApp, or just call us. We'll definitely respond to you and be of service to you. So addition of matrices. Okay, so make sure you join us. If you are lagging behind in mathematics and science, will definitely be of help to you, and we guarantee you that you'll do well in your exams. Okay, so let's start with talking about addition of matrices. How do you know that these two, the matrices given, can be added? What condition do matrices need to be uh, added should fulfill? What kind of condition the matrices to be added should fulfill? Okay, let's start with so we can say two matrices can be added. Two matrices can be added if they have same order of matrices. Okay, if they have the same order of matrices. That's a topic we talked about earlier on. If two matrices have got um, same order, that means they can be added. Okay, what does this mean? Let's look at these two matrices. I have got 2, 1, a matrix that has got these elements, and the other matrix that has 3, 4. Okay, can these two matrices be added? That's a question. Can these two matrices be added? The answer will definitely, that means these two matrices cannot be added. Okay, let's look at a different example again. Okay, what if we have matrices which are like this? Excuse me. and the other one which is okay. So can these two matrices be added? Let's check before we answer. Let's see the order of their of their let's check their orders. Okay, so we can see that this matrix has got two rows, so we can say 2 by, then we can also see that this matrix has got also two columns, so that is 2 by 2. Okay, we go to the second matrix, so we check this matrix, we can say this matrix has got two rows as well. Okay, never be deceived by this number. This is just one number, that is 14. So you can't say it's 1 and 4. No, that is 14. So that's one number. So they are the rows, they are 3. So through the rows, this matrix has got two rows by. Then we check for the columns. We can see that it has also got two columns. So that means it has got 2 by 2. Now we can see that the orders that we have come up with, this one and this one, they are the same. They are all 2 by 2. That means this matrix can be added. Or sorry, these two matrices can be added. These two matrices can be added. However, these two cannot be added because their orders are different. Okay, so how can you tell if the two matrices, the order of the two matrices given are the same before you even write the order of matrices? So you can just look at the matrices. If they have the same shape, okay, as you can see, these they have got the square. These they are also called square matrices. Okay, they are also called square matrices. Bear with me if I'm not going into square matrices, whatever other things. I'm just looking at content that comes in an exam. So if you don't see me going to those areas, please bear with me. Okay, so they have got the same shape. Okay, so immediately look at the matrices and you see that they have got the same shape, the same number arrangements. That means the order will also be the same. So you don't need to write the order of matrices for you to know. Just looking at them, you understand that they have got the same order of matrices. Okay, so now we have talked about identifying matrices that can be added. Once you have identified the matrices that can be added, what next step do you follow? Okay, so the next one is um, the next point is the next point is when adding matrices, you add corresponding elements. Okay, yes, that is what happens. So when you're adding matrices, what you focus on is corresponding elements. You see the reason I was talking about, we are talking about corresponding elements so that they can help us to add. And that is the law that is used. When you're adding matrices, you add elements that are corresponding. Okay, you add elements that are corresponding. Okay, what does that even mean? Let's look at this one. Let's say we want to add two matrices. So we have now I will just go straight to matrices that can be added. I'm not going to put you into a situation where you need to identify whether they can be added or not, but I'll just definitely go straight to those that can be added, meaning I'll pick matrices, or I'll write matrices that have got the same order. So we have got 2 1, okay, then plus 6 7, like that. Then we need to find the final matrix. So like we said earlier on, the matrices that are the matrices, these can be added, but the elements that are corresponding, let's start with 2. Which element is corresponding with 2? Which element corresponds with 2 or to 2? That means 6 corresponds. 6 and 2, they are occupying similar positions in these two different matrices. That means, what do? I'm going to open a smaller bracket inside, then I'll say 2 plus 6, okay, then close bracket again. Then again, I'll identify the number that corresponds with 1, which is 7. So 7 corresponds with 1. So that means I'm going to come up with the open bracket. Then I say 1 plus 7. Then close bracket. Then I'm going to close the entire bracket for the bigger matrix. Then once I have done that, I'm going to say equal to. Then I'm going to say 2 plus. So I'm going to open a bigger matrix. Bigger brackets for the matrix. Then I'll say 2 plus 6 will give me 8. 1 plus 7 will give me 8. And then that is the answer. So that way we have added. Now, when you look at this, we only dealt with the corresponding sides, or we added only corresponding elements. Why am I saying sides? I only added corresponding elements. Okay, so when you are adding when you're adding matrices, what you deal with are corresponding elements. So for you to do well when you are adding matrices, you need to know corresponding elements, or how to identify corresponding elements. Okay, let's come to the second example. Let me give you the second example. So let me say, I know someone may be saying, but sir, that one is easier. Let me use this matrix with a square matrix of 3 rows of elements and 3 columns of elements. So now remember, I said I'm not going to put you under pressure of identifying elements that are corresponding, identifying whether two matrices can be added. I'll definitely identify matrices that can be added, then I give you. So we have 1, 3, 9, 4, 7, 13, 16, 0. Then these. Now we are able to know that the order of these matrices is the same. They have the same order of matrices. So that means we can go ahead and add. Okay. So for us to add, what we're going to do is we're going to be identifying corresponding sides. So what I'll do, I'm going to open bracket, a bigger bracket like that one. Then what I'll start doing is now just adding. So I'm going to add this element corresponds with this element. That means I'm going to open a smaller bracket inside and say 2 plus 1, then close bracket. Again, I'm going to identify the element that corresponds with the 4. So the element that corresponds with 4, we can say that is this 4 corresponds with this one. That means I'm going to open a smaller bracket again, then I'm going to say 4 plus 1 and close bracket. Okay, then once I've done that, next I'm going to identify a number that corresponds with this 6, that is 3. 3 corresponds with that 6, so I'm going to open smaller bracket inside, then I'm going to say 6 plus 3, then close bracket like that. Okay, so this pattern or this way of doing things will continue until all the elements or all the corresponding elements are added. That means now I'm going to come down here and then identify the element that is corresponding with 3 in that matrix, which is 9. That means I'm going to open a smaller bracket and then say 3 plus 9, which will give me, I don't know, we will definitely find the answer later on when we start adding. Then after that, I'm going to find a number that corresponds with Sorry for that. Okay, I'm going to find a number that corresponds with, I'm going to look for a number that corresponds with 3, which is 4. Then I'm going to open bracket again and say 4, sorry, not 4. I'm going to say 3 plus 4. Okay, like that. Okay, then I'm going to continue and look at the number that corresponds with 9, which is 7. Then I'm going to open bracket and say 9 plus 7. I hope you are following me. If you are confused anywhere, you can ask me in the comment section. I'll be glad to explain further if you have got a query. Then once I've done that, the next thing I'm going to do is we're going to continue again down. You come to this third row, and then we identify the number that corresponds with 3, which is 13. So that means we're going to open a small bracket here and say 3 plus 13. Okay, then again we're going to identify the number that corresponds with 7, which is 16. Then we are going to open bracket and say 7 plus 16. Okay, then we are going to identify the number that corresponds with 1, which is 0. Then we're going to open bracket and say 1 plus 0. Then we close bracket, and here we're supposed to close bracket. Now after we have paired all the corresponding elements, we're going to close the bigger bracket for the entire matrix. Okay, we're going to close the bigger matrix for the entire. Okay, then once we've done that, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to add them. Okay, so before we add them, I'm going to open the brackets for a matrix here, so that when we add, we also write the product we get. So let's start by adding this. Let's find this. So what did I say? Product. I said the sum. I should say the sum that we're going to get. So we say 2 plus 1 will give us 3. Okay, then again we say we add this here, which is 4 plus 1, which will give us 5. Okay, then again we come here, we say 6 plus 3 will give us 9. Okay, then we come here again, we add 3 plus 9 will give us 12. Okay, then again we come here, we say 3 plus 4 will give us 7. Then again we come here, we say 9 plus 7 will give us 16. Okay, then we come here, we add 3 plus 13 will give us 16. Then we come here, we say 7 plus 16 will give us 23. Then again we come here, we add, we say here, that's where I'm talking about, we can say 1 plus 0 will give us 1, and that is the sum. So that's how you add matrices. Okay, so you follow all corresponding elements, and you put them together, then you find the sum, their sums. Then once you have gotten their sums, that's how you write in the final matrix, like they have written down here. Okay, so basically that's how you add two matrices. Okay, if you have got questions, you can ask in the comment section. If there are no questions, we can go to the simple exercise I want to give you. So let's see, look at this simple exercise that I'll give you. Okay, remember you can write your answers in the comment section. Okay, and you can also use the comment section. You write your answers on the piece of paper, then you submit them through you comment them, you comment using pictures in the comment section. Then I'll be marking them. I'll be commenting whether wherever you've gotten the answer wrong, I'll be asking you, I'll be telling you exactly and what went wrong. So make sure you can you can post your answers in the comment section. So the instruction is add the following matrices. Okay, so there are only going to be two questions. The first one is this one, 2, 1, 6, 4, 3, 2 plus open bracket 7, 4, 11, 3, 9, 8. You add these two matrices, what product are you going to get? Now, as you are solving this one, I don't want you to do a shortcut whereby immediately you just make the final matrix and then you start add. I want you to show me how you have combined the elements, how you have put the elements. Okay, I know even if you give me the correct diagram, for sure for you to come up with the correct final matrix is because you have added the correct corresponding elements. But I would love to see, okay, you can't take shortcuts because before you become an expert, if you're going somewhere, for you to take a shortcut, you have to know where you're going so that your shortcut will be meaningful. But if you don't know where you're going and you want to take a shortcut, it may end up to be a long cut that you take. Okay, so make sure you understand, you demonstrate that. That's what I want. Okay, so we have got 3, 4 plus 0, 1. Okay, I want to see the answers for these two matrices in the comment section. Okay, so make sure you pause the video, you copy the questions, you solve it, and then you write your answers or you post your answers in the comment section. Okay, so let's go to this final subtopic of this um, division that we're having today. We're going to look at subtraction of matrices. Subtraction of matrices. Okay, so the first question I'll ask you is, give me conditions or principles that subtraction, sorry, I left see here, subtraction, so which give me conditions that will be followed when you want to subtract matrices, that will help you to determine whether the matrices given can be added or subtracted. Sorry, if the matrices given can be subtracted. So write your answers in the comment section. Let me check your answers in the comment section. Give me conditions. What conditions do you think we should follow to subtract matrices and also to determine whether the given matrices can be subtracted? Give me those answers in the comment section. Let me check the comments. Okay. I've just been going through the comments, and I'm very grateful to see how Silico Zinga you are doing. Thank you so much. Sorry if you have pronounced your name differently, that maybe if you don't pronounce that name, but I'm very grateful. I'm very humbled in the way you have been answering the questions in the comment section. I'll take time to respond to them. Thank you so much for those wonderful comments, and your answers are very correct. Very correct. I'm happy that you are following me and my explanations. Thank you so much, uh, Silico Zinga. Okay, Ziga, something like Ziga, not Zinga, but Ziga, Silico's Ziga. Thank you so much for following me like that. I'm grateful, I'm humbled to see such kind of way coming from you. All right, let's continue with our revision. So, what are the conditions that you need to follow? So, basically, when you're subtracting and when you are multiplying, when you are adding, the conditions are the same. So, I'm just going to remind you the conditions that we talked about when we started to subtract, to add. We talked about for two matrices to be added, they should have the same order of matrix. So the first condition is when you're subtracting, the same condition applies here. You say same order of matrix. Okay, the matrix says the matrices should have the same order. Okay, then the other one is when you're adding, you add corresponding elements. Sorry, when you are subtracting, why am I saying add? We are not talking about addition, we are saying subtraction. So we say we subtract corresponding elements. Okay, that's what happens. Okay, so if the two matrices will be subtracted if they have the same order of matrices or matrix, and they're also going to be, when we are subtracting, we subtract corresponding elements. So what does that mean? Let's look at this one. We have got these two matrices. We have, now remember, I'm not going to be confusing you to give you matrices that have got not same that do not have the same order. I'll be giving you matrices that have the same order. I'm not going to be confusing you. Okay, um, if if I want to ask you whether the two matrices have the same order, I'll post questions on my posts, and then you just need to answer. Okay, so for now we are learning. I'll be selecting matrices that have the same order, and that's what happens in an exam. If they want you to subtract two matrices, they'll give you matrices that have got the same order. Okay, unless they change now. So that's what I'm going to do. So we have 0, 6, 4, 1, then minus, open bracket, 10, 3, 6, negative 8. Okay, then these are the two matrices we have that we need to add. So what we're going to do is we're going to open bracket and open bracket, we're going to say equal, then open bracket, the bigger matrix. Then we're going to identify corresponding elements. So we know that 0 corresponds with 10. So what we're going to do is we're going to open a smaller matrix, just like we did with addition. We're going to say 0, then we get the minus sign, we say minus 10. Then we close the bracket. Okay, then again we identify elements that are corresponding. We can say what number is corresponding with 4. We know that 6 is corresponding with 4. That means we're going to subtract 4 minus 6. Okay, then again what do? We go ahead and identify elements that are corresponding. So you can say which element is corresponding with 6. We know that that is 3. So what do? We are going to write, we open bracket, then we say 6 minus 3, then close bracket like that. Again, we go ahead and identify the element that is corresponding with 1, which is -8. Remember, don't just say 8. This is -8. So what we're going to do is we're going to open bracket and say 1 minus, we get this minus on the middle, minus -8, like that. Okay, then we close bracket. Okay, so once we have done this, the next thing we're going to do is now we do the actual subtraction of the numbers or elements. So to do that, we're going to open bracket here like this. Then what we're going to say is 0 minus 10 will give us -10. Okay, it's more or less like from -10 we subtract 0, we remove 0, it will be -10. Okay, then we come here. So we have dealt with this one, 0 minus 10. Then we come here, which is 4 minus 6. Okay, so if yesterday you didn't watch the video about indices, yesterday we were live and we are talking about integers. I'm sorry, we looked at integers, and that's where we also had to deal with these numbers and these kind of work. So what we do is we're going to say which number is big, or which numbers got main quantity. We know that -6 has got 6 negatives and +4 has got 4 positives. So, and the negatives are many than for the positives. So we can say 6 is bigger, so we can put a negative sign in advance. Then we find the difference of 6 and 4 without considering the sign. So what is the difference of 6 and 4? So we say 6 minus 4 will give us 2. So our answer will be -2. Okay, then we come to down here, we say 6 minus 3. 6 minus 3 will give us 3. Confused? Here basically what I'm trying to demonstrate is how you identify corresponding elements. Now if you have got difficulties in dealing with integers, yesterday, like I said earlier on, we went live and we did this video. I'm sure on Facebook we have part of it, but on YouTube we have a full video, because I realized later that on Facebook we are not live. Then that way, by the time we went live, that means we had already gone halfway of the work. So what you can do is you can go on YouTube channel, but even on Facebook there is a video. So just click on the link in the description. I'm sure, not description, but in the comment section, the first comment in the comment section, that is the link to our YouTube channel if you're on Facebook. So click on that link, it will take you to our YouTube channel, and then watch that video. I'm sure you'll learn a lot. Okay, we unpacked a lot of ideas dealing with integers. So watch that video and you'll be equipped to deal with any integer. Okay, so like I said earlier on, we follow the same rule, which is the matrices to be subtracted should have the same order. Okay, then when we are subtracting, we subtract corresponding elements. So these are the two conditions that we follow. Okay, if you have got questions, you can ask in the comment section, and if you found this video helpful, remember to like and share with your friends. And I'm not going to leave you like that, because we talked that we're going to deal with the order of matrices, so the order of matrices, then corresponding elements, then addition and subtraction will be our final subtopic. But tomorrow we're going to talk about multiplication. We'll talk about multiplication of matrices by a scalar and multiplication of matrices by a matrix. Okay, multiplication of matrix by a matrix. Okay, and also we talk about the conditions of multiplying matrices. So please, before I go, let me give you an exercise, a simple one, 2 questions only about subtracting matrices. Okay, a quick exercise. Please, you can write your answers in the comment section. Our intentions are easy and simple. All we want to see is you performing well in an exam. So please When I give you a bit of exercise, don't be bothered, do the exercise. So let me say 3, 2 minus 6, 4. Okay, we find the answer for that one. Number 2, we are going to give you this one, 2, 4, 3, 9 minus, open bracket, 0, 4, negative 3. Okay, then 13. Okay, so those are the two problems I want you to solve. Let me see the answers in the comment section. Let me see the answers in the comment section, please, please. Siriko Zinga, thank you so much for being a full participant in this division. Thank you so much. Sorry for I am using the same phone to tap internet into this computer. So what I did, the power, we didn't have power during the day, so I had put the phone on charge. So sorry for not responding to your comments as early as possible, but I'm very grateful for your participation. Before I log out, I'm going to take time and answer your respond to your comments. So as you copy the work, I want you to respond to your comments. And then we have got also online division that is taking place. For more details, you can call 0955 10 27 13. You can use these numbers to contact us via WhatsApp, or you just call us. We don't call back. You don't send us SMSs. We only respond to WhatsApp messages, not SMSs, and we don't call back. If you beep us, we won't call you back. So you make sure you call us, you tell us how can I help you, and definitely to reach a consensus, and then see the way how we can help you. So the charges, in case you're wondering how much are we charging, so we are just charging 50 kwacha per month. So for those who are writing external exams, you just pay us 50 kwacha until you write your exams. Okay, so definitely we're going to help you. And regardless of your situation, if you don't have electricity, by the time we are live or conducting lessons, we also share, maybe we also share ideas on how we can conduct some learners. We are conducting tuitions on one-on-one, which is more so beneficial, and some we are conducting as an entire group, depending on availability of the network as well as the time of electricity if you are using computer to learn. So all those things are put in consideration, and we will definitely come up with a plan that can suit you and help you. So make sure you call us and we shall share all the details with you. For Siliko Ziga, thank you so much for being a participant. Let me also respond to your comments. Okay, so tomorrow, like I said earlier on, we are looking at um, we are looking at we are looking at multiplication of matrices by a scalar, as well as multiplication of a matrix by a matrix. So make sure you make a date with us. Okay, I want to see your answers in the comment section. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. It has been easy learning zed-Mathematics. The future is bright. Thank you so much for watching, and God bless you. See you in the next video tomorrow as we look at multiplication of matrices. So make sure you make a date with us at the same time, 21 hours up to the time we're going to deal with this. Okay.